And hello to you and all of you. Welcome in. Bombers Banter
Banter.
2025. Um, little late, about a week. We apologize, but this is the May recap. We'll also recap parts of June since it already happened. But how's it going, Bill Corpus Crispy?
Hey, what's going on, folks? Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy with my fellow Yankee fan, Danny Boy Reg. Like I said, we're a little late here, but welcome to this edition of Bombers Banter. We're going to recap May, recap the first couple games of June, preview the rest of June, and then, of course, stump the Reg.
Yes, indeed. And I promised Bill that one of these months that I would come up with the questions and I would stump Corpus Christi. Um, but
Is today
not
the
quite.
day or no?
Nah. I don't have anything like that.
Next month.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it in July. Let's put it that way.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting, buddy,
Yeah. So I promise you in July it'll be my turn
to
to
stump
stump
me.
Bill.
Will he stump me next month?
Yeah. We'll
Before we
see.
But before we get to any stumping,
Yeah.
before we get to any stumping, Yankees had a pretty good May, wouldn't you say?
Yes, Bill, they had a terrific May. They went 17 and 9 in the month and just outstanding all across the board. Great hitting, great pitching, and Bill, they're on top of the American League East. They're not quite top of the American League. That's the Detroit Tigers who actually lead the ML. So yeah, it's been a good month, and of course, to start off June, they start off 4-1 with the lone loss so far coming against oh wait, is it? I think it's four and
Two.
two. Two. I'm so sorry.
No, now three.
Oh well, oh yeah, because of no, because that was May
No,
31st.
wait, you're right. They won the first Dodger. They won the last
They
Dodger game of
won.
that series
They
was on
won
June
Sunday.
1st. Sure.
That was June 1st. And then
Yes,
they
okay,
beat
I'm
Cleveland
sorry.
twice, and then they had the Boston. So they're 4-2. So I'll take the L there.
No, you were right. I was wrong.
Yeah. Um. So yeah. They were 4-1. Now they're 4-2 by virtue of the loss last night. By the way, a bad start by Ryan Yarbrough, who has been very good. Let's be real. We're not asking him to be great, but he has been very serviceable.
No,
So.
he's been very good.
You
Yeah.
know, so one bad start isn't terrible. Hey, look, the Yankees got 5 runs off Garrett Crochet. I mean, you can't ask. Garrett Crochet has been terrific. You can't ask for more than that. So, um, I'll take it for that. But of course, they lost. They try to come back. They did try to come back from that Saturday, but.
Yeah, they were trying near the end, but the Red Sox just ran away with it.
Yeah, well, it was when Story was able to get 2 more runs for insurance purposes. Like that was huge because LeMahieu had cut it to 1 with his, I think, was it a double or a single? I was barely watching the game and stuff. I was working. But yeah, LeMahieu, who has been on a tear lately, thank goodness. He was able to cut it to 1. Yankees couldn't finish off that rally. But yeah. I mean, look, they tried their hardest, but when Yarbrough, when he gives up 8 runs, it's very hard to come back from that. Very, very
No,
hard.
it is very no, when you give up 8 runs, it is very hard to come back from that.
Yeah. So 4-2 to start the month. And then of course, like I just said, 17 and 9 in May. Bill, tremendous. This is a good Yankee start. Like you gotta be happy with this.
Oh, I am happy with this. And the Yankees start in June at 4-2.
Yeah.
Awesome. And because you know what was the big, very pleasant surprise in May that I'm actually very happy it happened?
Ooh.
You know, the Subway Series.
Mhm.
Samantha Black, if you're watching, which I know she probably isn't because she's a Met fan, you know.
Bill rejoicing over his Met fan friends who, like to kill us for losing the Soto sweepstakes. They've been all over our asses.
Mark, and also to Mike, the pun master Rifkin, and Mark Goldop's guy Halpern.
Yeah, exactly.
You know who you are.
Um, yeah, Subway Series turned out very good. Yankees took the series. Um,
We still got to play them again next month, though.
yeah, and we'll hopefully we'll take that series too. Let's try to sweep their asses. They can sweep us in our building. Let's sweep them in their building.
Yeah, let's sweep them in
Let's
Queens.
go.
Let's
Why not?
sweep them out to the garbage. Sweep
Yeah.
them out. Sweep them out, Reggie boy. Sweep them out.
Let's get our brooms ready. That is a good Mets team, though. That is going to be very tough. That is a very, very good Mets team. So
Okay, I gotta take one shot at. You know who I have to take a shot at. You know.
go for it.
Hey, Uncle Steve, how's all that money coming for Juan Soto? How's that money coming, bro?
So far, no regrets. If I were to guess. He has not gotten off to a great start, though I have seen him hit the ball better of late, and and his swagger's back. I don't know if you've seen the highlights, Bill, but the Soto shuffle has returned. It wasn't there for like the first 2 months, you know. So I think he's starting to get his swagger back. But being honest with you, the Mets aren't winning because of Soto. The Mets are winning because Pete Alonso's on a tear. Obviously, Frankie Lindor has been doing his thing. Um, and of course, all the other players. The pitching has been tremendous for the Mets too. So, but if the Yankees could sweep them out of the building in Citi Field in July, that'd be pretty nice. So, you know, can't wait for that second leg of the Subway Series to happen.
Oh, I would love every minute of it. Oh, come on, y'all know too.
Mhm.
Y'all would like it too.
Yeah. Um,
Just get the broom, sweep them out to the garbage of Queens.
mhm. And by the way, that area is still a hellhole, a bunch of junkyards. So put them in the junkyards.
Put them in the junkyards.
Um, just recapping the series for the Yankees in May, and again, just a tremendous May. Um, they had some really really tough series. If you look at that schedule,
No, they did. They had the Mets, they had the Padres, who they ended up taking 2 out of 3 from.
that was a great series by them.
Oh,
By
that
the
was a fantastic series.
yeah,
They had, I thought the Padres were going to at least take 2 out of 3.
yeah. Uh,
I, they had, the Mariners they took 2 out of 3 from.
wasn't very happy about the Rays series. I thought at the very least the Yankees would take that series after what they did down in Tampa. Tampa took 2 out of 3. I wasn't very thrilled with that. They did bounce back with the San Diego. Took the series in Sacramento against the A's. Um, Mariners they had a good series. Mets they had a good series. They swept the Rangers. Uh, took care of business against the Rockies, Angels, and then of course tail end of the month the Dodgers. Again, coming out to 17 wins, 9 losses. But you know, the greatest thing that I'm seeing so far is how Max Fried continues to dominate.
Fried
And
has been a
he was sensational in May. Absolutely sensational. And then of course if you combine his June numbers already, he has an 81 record with a 1.78 ERA throughout this entire season. And let's be real, Bill, with those 8 wins, has been the massive difference in this Yankee season. I don't know if the Yankees get 8 wins if Max Fried isn't in our starting rotation.
But you know what I've been liking about Max Fried, though? You know, since we lost our ace, Garrett Cole,
Mhm.
he stepped up.
Yeah. Well, he has ace-like stuff. His his pitches have been absolutely accurate and then some.
Yeah, he has been, no, his pitching has been great, and he's stepping up as, hey, guess what? I'm the ace now. Here we go.
Yeah. When the Yankees really needed it to happen, he has really, really stepped up big time. And we're grateful for that because, you know, and think about it this way, Bill. Just imagine if we had Garrett Cole. We get Garrett Cole, who we know is going to be good. And it may not be best pitcher in baseball anymore, but you know he's going to be good. Then you have this version of Max Fried. He's been terrific. He's been solid. He's been healthy. I made this point on Batter Up early this morning. He has been healthy. One of the things that we got on with Fried was the fact that he always misses time. So far, knock on wood, he has been healthy. That has been tremendous. That has been massive for the Yankees because we need him to be around. So, um, and then of course you get the beard version of Carlos Rodon, who we've been begging for the past 3 seasons. We finally have that version of Rodon. Take all of that. Imagine we had Garrett Cole. This would have been, and of course, what Yarbrough's done. This it could
This would
be.
have been a killer
It
rotation.
could have been a tremendous rotation. It's a shame right now that we're watching this season and Garrett Cole's not on the mound. It's a big shame because this has the makings. This had the makings of being one of the best seasons, and we didn't know it yet. That's the crazy part.
And you know what? Picture this. If Garrett Cole was here, we would have had Cole, Fried, Rodon. This would have been a badass rotation.
Yeah,
This would have been a freaking badass rotation.
yeah. But we
But
can't
hey,
find.
in the words of the late great Meatloaf, Reg, well, don't be sad, 'cause 2 out of 3 ain't bad. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, Reg. We'll take what we got. Am I right, bro?
Yeah, oh, totally, dude. Totally. Um,
So we talked about the pitching, the hitting. Judge doing Aaron Judge things. Aaron Judge has been rocking. Also, Goldschmidt's been doing pretty good, don't you say so?
I mean, yeah, I mean, Goldschmidt also has been solid pretty much since the start of the season. He's been very, very good. Um, right now, his stats are 313. He still has 7 home runs, 29 RBIs, and then OPS 836. He constantly gets on base, dude. Like he took a bit of a tailspin. You know, he had a very, very solid start to the season. His April numbers were just outrageous. Um, but still has done a very nice job and filling in that void at first base, the getting the production that we were expecting out of Rizzo, you know, these past couple of seasons that Rizzo didn't really give. And look, no disrespect to Rizzo. Rizzo, well, I'm forever grateful that we got him when we did, and he was productive early on in his Yankee tenure. But Paul Goldschmidt is giving us what Anthony Rizzo didn't give us, and that's been great. So I'm happy about that. We talked about DJ LeMahieu, who at the tail end of May was on a great, great hitting run and is looking like the former DJ LeMahieu that when we acquired him in 19, you know, we this is the version of LeMahieu that we come to love. Now, of course, look, it happens, injuries, he gets older, you know, production's not as big as it used to be, Bill. But it's great to see the the flashes of old DJ.
Yes, it's always good to see that. But yeah, LeMayu, Bellinger, like I said, Judge doing Judge
Yeah,
things.
and Bellinger. Bellinger had a great month too.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, slow start in April, and then turn the month. Been very, very good job. I have to say that. In May, it says he had 302 batting average, 5 home runs, 16 RBI, and scored 15 runs. And he played 24 games last month. Um, so good to see that. Good to see that he's starting to get his game back up. Um, Again, stats not necessarily where we want him to be, but still productive enough. And he's been massive for the Yankees. So I'm glad that he was able to pick things back up after a slow start.
So yeah, Yankees had a dynamite May,
Yep.
17-9, and I think they're starting June off pretty strong. And like, listen, okay,
Yeah.
the Dodgers series, listen, I know it, you know it, anyone who has a functioning brain knows it. I knew the Dodgers were gonna smack the Yankees around.
Yeah, I expected the Yankees to be more competitive for sure. I thought the pitching would settle in. Certainly thought the hitting would be there. As a matter of fact, thought the hitting more than the pitching was going to be uh big in that series. It was big in that series, but the problem is it was bigger for the Dodgers than was the Yankees. So that's the part that was frustrating to watch at first, but it's okay. Whatever,
No, I agree. No, but that game, that 18-2 game, like that was insane.
It was embarrassing.
I remember I was at that bar in Saratoga that I was watching the Knicks game that I told you about on SIP. I pulled out my phone. I looked at my buddy. I'm like, dude, would you believe if I just told you the Yankees lost 18-2? And he's like, no. I'm like, yeah. So I can't. Warren got smacked around that game,
Yeah.
but he made up for it Friday night.
And you know what? I do give him credit. And look, it's hard to kill Will Warren because this is what his first full season as a starter and
I
everything.
believe so, yes.
He's a young pitcher. Like I can't kill him for being a young pitcher and making mistakes. Like it's gonna happen. There are gonna be a lot of growing pains with him. And people are just gonna have to be patient. Now, with the likes of Carlos Rodon, it was different because he's been a starter. He's been in the league for 11 seasons. And we have a lot of expectations out of him. For someone like Will Warren, who's, doing his first go around, like a team like the Dodgers, it's not fair to expect so much out of that. Now, the 18 runs, obviously that was combined with the bullpen doing absolutely nothing to help out, right? That was shocking. That was a pretty shocking start. Uh, but at the same time, it was also not shocking that they got on the young guy. So, you know,
So yeah, now that we move forward to June, okay, like I said, we've already gone through the first week.
yeah. It's been good. Low lights though. No Luke Weaver. That sucks.
Yeah. So what are they gonna do about the closer? We'll see.
Well, so far it's been Devin Williams, who we
He's
know
coming back a little bit.
he's struggled. He has pitched better, but what I've noticed out of Devin Williams, look, Devin Williams for the longest time has been a setup guy. He wasn't really the closer until the last couple of years or so in Milwaukee. And now Williams, He settled in back in more the relief role, not the closer role. He's been pitching a lot better. He had that save opportunity against Cleveland where he didn't necessarily almost yuck it up. It's your typical Devin Williams. He's gonna put people on base and he's gonna make you sweat. Um, but yeah, now he's back in the role for a little bit. I need to see better. I need to see the lights out Devin Williams that we have come to know and see.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we need to see the old Devin Williams back. All right, so you ready for who the Yankees got the rest of June?
Yeah, let's go, man.
Okay, the Royals. They got okay. First, actually, what about tonight? Are the Yankees going to take 2 out of 3, or is Boston going to squeak it out?
Um, let's see. They have the Hunter Dobbins, the Red Sox, on the mound tonight, who's been terrible. He hates the Yankees, so he might get a little emotional over that. But the Yankees have Carlos Rodon, so let's see what he does tonight, and hopefully the Yankees can bounce back. They've had a good offensive series so far, so I can't complain about that. But um, let's close out. Let's win the series. I think they take this game.
I think they're going to take it too.
Cool.
Okay, to okay, then travel day tomorrow, and then we go to KC, the start of a 6-game road trip. KC Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Reg, talk to me.
The Royals are they're tough. They're not a great team, but they're tough.
They're scrappy.
Yeah, and look, they're game over 500. They're obviously the bottom of the Central, one of the bottom teams. The White Sox
The
are
AL Central's garbage.
the bottom is the White Sox, and that was expected. But yeah, the Central divisions, besides the Tigers, obviously, it's a joke. It is a joke. They're a tough team, but they're not great. So if I'm the Yankees, expect it to be tough, but don't think that for one bit that they're better than you. No, you're better than them. So sweep them, kick their ass.
So you think they're going to sweep?
I think they'll sweep. Yes.
I think they'll take 2 out of 3 because I have a feeling the Royals, like we said, they're scrappy, so they might try to squeak out a game.
Yeah.
Okay, then they're shipping up to Boston. Whoa!
All right. Another weekend series against the Red Sox at Fenway. Never easy to go to Fenway.
It's never easy, Fenway.
Um, this game may set the tone for that. You know, I think the Yankees will definitely take one of Friday or Saturday.
So you think the Red Sox are going to win that series next week?
Yeah, I think there has to be some payback. I think the Red Sox take that series. I
I'm
could be
kind
I could
I'm
be
kind of
wrong.
on the fence. I'm on the fence because here's the thing.
Yeah,
On one hand, here's where I agree with you. The Yankees win tonight, and next week we go to Boston. You know the Sox would be. I'm like, oh, okay, okay, time for some payback.
yeah.
This time, guess what, fellas? You're on our turf.
Mhm.
You're on our turf. You're in Fenway now, pal. So I think there'll be that emotion, but Boston has just not been starting off that strong.
I know, and that's the thing.
I'm
They're not a good team.
Call me an optimist, but I think the Yankees are going to take 2 out of 3.
Okay.
And listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I've
Yeah,
been wrong before. Reggie could testify. I've been wrong before.
yeah.
But you know
Well,
what? I'm willing to admit that I'm wrong.
yeah. We've both been wrong before, and we'll both admit to it. So yeah,
But we're not like certain broadcasters who always think they're right.
exactly.
If we're wrong, we come on and admit we're wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Then back at home for a 6-game homestand against Sorry, 7 game
Seven
homestand.
games. Yeah, 7 games.
Angels.
Four against Anaheim. Um, Thursday and matinee at the stadium.
I'm
Uh,
gonna say the Yankees are gonna take this series.
yeah, they'll get at least three. Um, I say 3 out of 4. I wouldn't be shocked if they swept them again. The Angels have played well this season. I will say that the Angels have played well this season. I believe they have Mike Trout back, so that helps. But um, no, I don't know. At least three. And then after the Anaheim series, Baltimore comes to the Bronx. Baltimore's played a lot better thus far since they fired their manager Brendan Hyde. Um,
Think the O's can take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees.
I think they'll take I think they take the Friday, and then they did. I think they take Friday. Then the Yankees win the other two. By the way, Sunday the 22nd is a Sunday morning, 11 a.m. game. So,
It's a Roku game, isn't it?
yeah.
It's
So
always a Roku game.
I'm not in love with these morning games. I'm no,
Me neither. Come on.
to 12:30. 11 a.m. Like Jesus Christ.
Well, at least you guys still got a good chunk of your day left after the game.
Yeah, I guess, but whatever. Um, then the Yankees go to Cincinnati uh right after the Baltimore series. They're right away, 23rd to 25th. They're in Cincinnati. Then they're back home against Sacramento.
Okay, first the Reds. I think the Yankees could take the Reds.
Yes. I think they win that series. Reds are not that good.
Yeah,
Um
I think they can take the A's.
yeah, they got 2 out of 3 last time in Sacramento. Um yeah, no, I think they sweep. The A's are not very good. I think they sweep.
I think they're going to sweep the A's.
Yeah.
And then we're only going to cover this series because this series starts in June, but it ends in July.
Yeah, it spills in. It's a 4 game set in Toronto. Toronto, who has been playing much better, despite their Vlad Guerrero not really producing as much. Toronto, the last 10 games, and let's hope it doesn't continue. They're 9-1. So, take it as you want to. I think it's a split series, 2-2.
I'm going to say 2-2 as well.
Yeah.
Okay, the other series, we'll talk about that when we preview July.
Yeah. And obviously we'll go back to the Toronto series, obviously.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I think they're going to split that.
Yeah.
All right. Guess what it's time for?
Was
It's time for Stump the Reg.
Dump me. Let's go, baby.
All right. I got 2 questions for you today. The first one, and this is out of recent Yankee news. Jason Dominguez hit a 3 home run game this year in May against the
Mhm.
A's.
Yeah.
At 22 years and 91 days, he is the youngest person in franchise history to do so.
Yeah.
Who did he pass? Was it A, Mickey Mantle,
Hmm.
B, Joe DiMaggio, C, Lou Gehrig, or D, Don Mattingly?
Ooh, those are big names. I would not know this from the top of my head, to be honest with you. Um,
Let me repeat that again. A, Mickey Mantle, B, Joe DiMaggio, C, Don Mattingly, or D, Lou Gehrig?
3 homer game.
The youngest one to do so.
This is so Jason Dominguez is the youngest one right now.
He is now the youngest.
So who's the second youngest is what you're asking.
Yes, who did he pass?
Since he was a big home run guy. I'm gonna take a guess because
Okay.
I don't know this. I'm gonna say Don Mattingly.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
You was incorrect. It was just a guess. I wouldn't know it.
You want?
Um, it's not gonna count. Mickey Mantle,
Nope.
Joe DiMaggio.
Yep, it was Joe
Okay,
DiMaggio.
Joe DiMaggio. Okay,
Joe DiMaggio was the only other player in franchise history to hit 3 home runs in a game before turning 23 at 22 years old and 200 days.
okay,
The other two who did it with the youngest were Mickey Mantle, who did it at 23, and Lou Gehrig, who did it at 24.
okay.
Speaking of Lou Gehrig, since this past week we had Lou
Oh,
Gehrig Day,
yes,
it was going to be something resembling Lou Gehrig. I was going to ask you a Lou Gehrig type question today.
yeah.
Um, when Lou Gehrig gave his famous "Today I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth," who did the Yankees play that day? Was it A, the St. Louis Cardinals, B, the Red Sox, C, the Washington Senators, or D, the Chicago Cubs? Hey, no looking the answer up.
Sorry. It was a doubleheader that day, right?
It was a doubleheader.
It was a doubleheader. That's all I remember for sure. Um,
I'll give you points for that.
you said who what was the
Was
line?
it the Cardinals, the Red Sox,
Oh,
the
no,
Senators, or the Cubs?
was it the Washington Senators? Yeah.
Yeah. July 4th, 1939, the Yankees on Lou Gehrig Day, they played a doubleheader against the Washington Senators.
Okay. Yeah, but by the way, that was a total guess.
Hey, you know what? It was a good guess, though,
It was a total guess. I didn't know that.
because it was the right one.
Yeah, well, I knocked off two, the Cubs and the Cardinals, right?
Yeah,
Because I don't think they played each other during the regular season, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember, but
Yeah. Um, Back then, baseball was much simpler. You played during your league, and then when independent, then you face your other counterparts later on. So
wasn't it good in those days how baseball was simple?
yeah, nowadays you have interleague play, which is like
We
cool.
are against complexity. We are for simplicity here.
Yeah.
We support simplicity here on SIP. Oh, no, I'm sorry, on Bombers Banter.
Okay.
But yeah, so in the wise words of Imagine Dragons, there's nothing else to say now.
Well, Bill, you stumped me,
I
right?
did.
You know,
I give you a tip of the hat.
yeah.
Now next month, can he do it? Can Red stump me?
I have to find some good questions for
Oh,
the.
he's got to find a good one.
I have to find a good one. I'll remind myself to do it because but yeah, it's gonna be my turn. Uh,
Uh, can't wait, Reggie boy. I can't wait.
yeah, it's gonna be great.
All right. If you want more, go to www.thesportscitynetwork.com. Check out our blogs, check out our history, check out our podcast available on all platforms. Check us out here on YouTube where you get this show exclusively on YouTube. You also
Yep.
get Batter Up on Sunday mornings. You also get T-Ball Show, Mark Halpern and his son Troy. That's coming up. Well, they're recording when we're done here. And also bunch of other things here on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. For Danny Boy Reginald, I'm Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy. Thank you for watching another exciting edition of Bombers Banter. From all of us here, stay safe, take care, and let's go Yankees.
Let's go, Yankees. We appreciate them. We love them. And we thank them so far for a good season.
And let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Let's freaking go.
On to the World Series.
Hopefully.